So welcome back to my channel, and this is season 1 finale of Stay Home Vlog series, and today we will have a very special guest. His name is Syukri. Syukri is actually someone who is working Under Armour, and has a lot of experience when it comes to speaking and as well as being an entrepreneur. So what does entrepreneur means? It's something like entrepreneur, but you actually work in an organization and making sure things get better from inside out and become like more prosperous and successful. So he's someone who spearheads that kind of growth within Under Armour itself. And apart from that, he also speaks in many places to share about his experiences and is well respected within the LinkedIn community and creates a lot of content that's useful and impacts many lives through LinkedIn and his various social media channels. So I'm really happy to actually have him on board to share a bit of his experiences. So today's vlog will kind of be a bit of his and my life all added into one video, similar to the previous videos, and hope you get to learn something out of like content creation and also how do you actually progress in your career and what are some tips from there. So stay tuned.
Okay, so I will be heading out just in a short while because I got some errands to run, but I thought before I actually head out, right, I just wanted to actually share with you about what I do and a little bit about my lifestyle, because people are always seeing me doing what I do. Like I do a lot of talking event, I speak on TV, and after that, on top of that, a lot of all this publicity kind of work. But beyond all that, right, who is Syuk for that matter, or who is Syukri Azman? I just love, before this whole COVID happens, I just enjoy doing volunteering work. So not trying to sound noble, right, but I do a lot of volunteering work prior to this, where I actually engage youth. I have a thing about youth because that was where I started my career actually. So I started my career in the youth development space. And then on top of that, I do enjoy going to the nature, specifically hiking or trekking. So that's a little bit about me, but something for sure, I think it's just because I've been engaging with so many people, whereby part of my job requires me to talk. So I just enjoy being in my own room, listening to podcasts, watching Netflix. Well, I love watching Shark Tank for that matter. Shark Tank is one amazing show. And then for podcast wise, I do have a few podcasts I'm listening to. And when I do my running every alternate days and all that. So that's a little bit about who is Syuk and what I do and beyond work lah. Because people always saying, oh, Syuk is doing this, Syuk is doing this workshop, Syuk is doing this event and all that. But there's more to what Syuk or Syukri Azman is. So we're gonna talk more later on with Stanley, where I will share a little bit more about the other factors or other things as well. So do stay tuned. Alright, so I will be sharing more just in a bit.
Yeah, and it's a weekend and I'm here back at Holland Village. Today I will actually be doing some fitness at last, because I have not been fit for the past 2 months, I think, because of the work pressures and stuff. But today I'm really excited to be going to this spin class, which is like a cycling class that's done indoor in the studio, and we'll kind of be doing some activity later. And so today I'm actually a bit early for my class. My class is at 11 o'clock, but since I'm early, I decided to come into Holland Village Shopping Centre, the place I used to work 9.5 years ago. So very interestingly, this place actually opens usually around like 11 o'clock. But since I'm here early, I thought I'll just give you a tour in terms of how and where I used to work last time as a carpet store manager. Alright, let's start.
So with that said, what exactly is an intra? I-N-T-R-A. Intra, basically you are an employee working in a huge organization. Alright, so the difference is within an intra and also entrepreneur, E-N-T-R, right? Difference is, for intra you are an employee, whereas an entrepreneur, basically you own and you are the leader of the company's operation, right? So that's a quick definition, right? It's really, as I said, it's a mindset game where for individual, like all of us who are an employee, for us to outshine ourselves, for us to perform better than we were before. And because of that mindset, people can see it, performance gets better, and people recognize the effort. So that's basically what an entrepreneur is.
So most stores are actually now slowly opening up, but they're opening up really early for Holland Village standards. And when I used to work over here, I used to report to work at 10, open up around 10:30, and my staff usually also, either myself or my staff actually jaga the shop until like around 7, 8 or 9. Yeah, so it's a place with a lot of memories for me. But I will share a little story as well. So when I first interviewed for the job, it was actually a sales exec job, and I wanted to, back then I just finished school and wanted to just have like a short 3 months job kinda to before I go back to school. But I decided to go and interview for this role because it was the highest paying back then. I was looking at about 1,700 Sing dollars for starting first job, because I was just a secondary school student back then, like before I went for my diploma program. So I really wanted to have a role that made me some income, but I didn't want a low paying one. So I decided to go for the carpet shop job. And the first question the owner asked me was, "Are you able to carry really heavy carpet?" And I was a scrawny little kid back then, but I was like, because I really wanted the role, I said definitely. So I showed him how I could carry it, but it was like, wow, freaking heavy. But one thing I learned from that is that, right, when people ask you, can you do something? Instead of replying, no, you can't do something, there's always a room that we can share, that we can grow into the role itself. There is nothing called impossible if you really put your mind to it. So, and 3 months into the role, instead of like going to a diploma program right away, I was promoted to a sales manager role in the company, because I picked up the ropes pretty quickly and I maxed out my sales capacity very young. So then I was promoted and I managed a shop and I managed employees. I remember this place really gave me a lot of learning lessons, which I hope to share later more with you. So yeah, now we are at Holland Village. I'm walking towards my class. I think I wanted to bring you through another part of Holland Village that I didn't actually showcase to you guys previously. Yeah, so earlier I was sharing as well. So when you're actually picking up something new or trying something new, don't be afraid to try, and don't be afraid to tell someone that you're willing to learn and able to do things beyond what they expect you to do. And on the note, of course, there's certain limitations to it. Like if there's tasks that you really feel that you're not up to it, like for example, I wouldn't dare say I'm good at engineering, because that would be something that I have to go to a school to learn and pick up actual theoretical and practical knowledge about, like for example industry engineering and stuff. But things like within the marketing, sales realm, design, all this, if you know that you can pick it up somewhere, like from a YouTube video or like self-learning, yeah, don't be afraid to push yourself and really go for it. So this is something that I strongly believe in. And yeah, so when I was back then 9.5 years ago, that role kind of taught me a few things. First, I never knew that I could ever be a manager at such a young age, and it taught me a lot of like human management skills, because like at the core of it, right, people don't care about how old or how young you are as a manager and stuff, but they care about whether you take care of them, whether you actually help them progress in where they want to go. And at the end of the day, is there any like potential for them to, you know, get to a better earning capacity, or like, you know, achieve more in whatever role and capacity. So that's something I learned as management, right? It's about helping your people to grow and excel at their role. If we can do that and we can help them get to what they think they deserve, that is a very successful management in my humble opinion. And that's the philosophy that I brought to wherever I go later on. So as I progress along, I grow pretty quickly because of this early exposure to yeah, before I even got my diploma done. So I'm very grateful for the management role back then. And yeah, because I remember vividly when I was interviewing for that role itself, the only experience I could put was a ballooning experience, because I was a freelancer balloonist and I did some freelance web design back then. But that was it. Don't have any other professional accolades that I could say, hey, yeah, but look where I am today, I guess. So really just be willing to go and try new things.
Alright, so I'm actually out right now, but it's just that it's raining. And probably you can hear it, right? It's actually raining out there. It's just that because I'm heading to get some things from the supermarket. But I thought maybe I just want to spend some time to share a little bit about this whole idea about what is intrapreneur. And let me just take a sip first, okay? Let me just take a sip first.
And we are finally here at Lexion, so we are going to be having spin class today, which is the cycling class I mentioned to you. So I'm very excited. The first class after like the circuit breaker in Singapore. Currently, I'm not going for a cycling class after all. I'm going for a HIIT class, and like I'm totally unprepared for it. So hopefully I really don't pass out during class. So super excited, but first workout since 2 months.
Yeah, so what happened is this, right? A lot of people are very familiar with what is entrepreneur, but when it comes to entrepreneur, people tend to be less familiar. People tend to be less aware of, right? But I'm just going to put it this way: entrepreneur is basically a mindset game, right? Most often than not, all of us are working in an organization as an employee that earns paycheck, right? But the thing is, how many of us actually really consider putting in that stake to say that, hey, I treat this as if it's my own business? Because when you are able to do that, naturally your performance, your commitment, your investment to the company, it just tremendously goes up. Look, that's what really defines as entrepreneur is basically people who works in an organization to deliver a result as if this person owns the business, the share of the business. And this is exactly what it is. And a lot of youngsters, be it millennials and all that, I think that's something that we need to be aware of. But we work in a company, we have a stake in the company, and what we want to do is to make sure that we're able to deliver as if this is our own business. Because trust me, once you have that mindset, once you have that mentality, right, I feel that we're naturally able to perform, we're naturally able to share, we're able to naturally produce better results as well, because we feel committed to do that, right? Because we feel really committed to do that. But anyways, I hope you can hear me clearly because I'm wearing my mask, alright? But this is something amazing about this mask. You don't see me sucking in, naturally wearing mask, right? But you can hear me very sharp and clear. So that also clearly shows that I can breathe very well with this mask. So anyways, the head is, what if this fails? Alright? Because at the end of the day, no business owner wants their business to fail, right? But a lot of people are coming into work paycheck to paycheck simply because they are not motivated. And being an entrepreneur is a very high self-motivated game, because you come in, you are here because you want to make a difference. The keyword is you want to make a difference. And when you come in with the idea that I want to make a difference, I want to improve certain things, trust me, the abundance, the satisfaction that you get out of your job, I tell you, it's crazy, right? It's crazy. It's beyond just the idea of coming in to get my pay every single month. And the satisfaction that you get is crazy. So that's exactly what's entrepreneur. It's a mindset game rather than a defining factor to say whether you are or you are not. If you come in with that mindset to say that this is like a business of my own, you're able to perform as if like this is like your own, you're able to deliver as if this is like your own, naturally you are able to outperform those who don't have that mindset. Well, you are able to, people can see it, you naturally shine as well. So that's basically what entrepreneur is. And that's something I always share with a lot of those who are fresh grads or even millennials, right? You've got to come in as if you own this business, but while respecting who's the business owner. So that's something that you got to do there. So yep.
This is how the whole interior looks like. This is the level 3, which is, and this is unisex lockers over here, and over here is the workout area that I'll be dying later. I mean, no, I'll be trying to survive later. Yeah, hopefully I don't pass out, like mentioned. Yeah. I made it through the difficult situation. Oh my god, so tiring. So the whole point of workout is to get tired. If you are not tired, you are not working out from the coach.
So, okay, well, I'm walking towards the supermarket because it's still very raining. You can see, it's still raining. So, before I actually head to get my things, I thought I was just sharing a little bit about content creation, because, well, Stanley yourself is like very experienced with content creation, video content creation. It's something that I've been always wanting to do. But when it comes to content creation, what I believe is about giving information that is of a value to people as well. And that's something that I've always wanted to do, right? And I feel that we can actually contribute to other people by sharing information that's relevant, information that actually adds value to others. So I always say this, that whenever I conduct my training and people ask me, so Shuk, what's your tips on content creation? I usually have 3 tips. Well, I call it the CIP. Alright, if you're in Singapore, you're very familiar with CIP because of this phrase called Community Involvement Program. And for me, what CIP means is basically, it's really a community base where you actually continue to produce content to actually inspire people and to always produce information that will really engage people. So people ask me, shoot, but I don't have things to share. So that's why I share with you 3 things, right? C basically connect. Basically, through content creation, you're actually connecting with people, right? You engage people and all that. Second way of content creation is what I meant by I. I means interacting. So basically, you interact with other people's content, right? You interact with other people's content, you like their content, you share their content, you comment on their content, because by doing that, you are building a better, healthier community where more people can benefit other people's content. And P basically means post, P-O-S-T. And what I mean by post means that you actually curate your own content, and this is an amazing thing, right? You are able to actually create content based on what you really believe in. It can even be things of your daily life, for example, right? We have seen Stanley doing it, right? It can be even things like what you believe in, or maybe success stories that you have seen that you want to share to other people. And that's what content creation is really about. So you post content. So it's either you connect with the content, you interact with the content, or you post content. And that's really what content creation is really about. And does it take a lot of time? Well, it depends on what you want to share, but of course at the same time, it's very much dependable on what kind of content that you want to really deliver. So some people share video content, some people share text content, some people share images content, and the platform as well, right? Whether you're talking on TikTok, alright, or Instagram stories, alright, or whether it's an Instagram post, whether is it on LinkedIn for that matter. So personally, my content creation journey, for myself, I have been a little bit more invested in 2 things: Instagram story and also on LinkedIn. So these are the 2 platforms that I believe in. Some people say, why is Instagram story? Why are you not posting on your Instagram feed? One thing I realized, right, one thing I learned is that the algorithm of all these social platforms is basically how engaged are you, how much are you commenting. So choose which platform you're comfortable with, share what you believe in, inspire more people from there as well. And that's what's really content creation is really about. It's about inspiring people, it's about connecting people, and it's also about giving knowledge to other people as well. So that's what I believe in, and that's how I do my content creation. And one tips, you don't need a Photoshop to design nice photos. Go use Canva, because that's one of the tips that I always share when it comes to content creation.
You probably have went through like the whole gym, the content creation, and all the sharing that just happened earlier. So right now, I'll actually be covering a little bit more about my own content creation tip, because Syukri have shared quite a number of things in on his side of me. Some of the biggest things that I've done consistently over the past 6 to 7 years of content creation is, number 1, be willing to experiment with new content. And what that means, right? This means that if you think that you want to create some content of a certain nature, don't just think, execute it. So 1, be willing to take risks and execute new content, because at the end of the day, the worst thing that can happen to your content is they do not actually, people do not really like your content, that's all. But you can still try new angles and try new sharing. So that's number 1 for content sharing. Number 2, we'll actually be focusing on building impact with your content. So not just about getting more engagements, more likes, more reach, but it's also that the people who actually read your content, do they get value out of your content? Because if they do, then they'll continue to follow your content for greater value, not just, following your content for the sake of following your content. Yeah. And number 3, have fun when doing so. So all your content that you create, you should have some fun delivering it, because at the end of the day, it's a fun and passion that continues to drive us to create more and more content. So if you are trying out content creation, be it via LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, remember to do content that you are passionate about. So just like this YouTube that I actually did, it was out of a little bit of boredom, as mentioned in episode 9, but it's also the fun and passion behind creating all these videos that drives me to continue creating more. So very important is these 3 things. So number 1, be adventurous, take risks, and create new content, like different type of content formats, try new things. And the worst thing that can happen to you is that people do not engage your content, they do not like it. But yeah, at least right? You tried. So the number 2 thing is, after you actually try new things and experiment, it's really about finding that sweet spot for yourself, like I mentioned. And number 3 is actually the creating content that's fun for you, so that you can keep creating it. So yeah, I hope this is something that was meaningful for you. And yeah, as this is the last episode, do feel free to leave your thoughts and comments below on what would you like to see next. And I will have 2 new series coming up real soon that will be sharing first tips about YouTube marketing. So if you guys are actually looking at YouTube marketing and wanting to grow your own channel, there'll be one dedicated behind the scenes series that will be premiering in August, and you will actually be showcasing how we actually grow an YouTube account from scratch. Okay, like almost they have about 96 subscribers presently. And the second series will be casual chats with amazing people, and I'm pretty amazed that this episode actually came about, and I'm very happy to show you guys in August real soon. So do continue to subscribe to the channel, and look forward to greater content and your support. So with that, thank you so much.
Okay, so it's time for me to actually get my thanks, but before that, I really want to give a shout out for Stanley, because it's really amazing. It's not an easy work, right? For you to reach out to people, for you to actually, design the flow of the video. It's not easy for you to even edit the video. I can't do anything myself. It can go crazy lah. I mean, especially even if you have a proper storyboard, it can go crazy because of the content, because of the flow, because of the editing and all that. So I just want to give a shout out to say that if you guys are watching this video by Stanley, I would strongly encourage for you to like, share the video, because it's really going to be very useful. He has a lot of amazing content which will benefit a lot of people, especially if you're an entrepreneur, you're a business owner, or even someone that wants to do better, right? So do check his video out, and if you find this really useful, I got one help: like and share and comment, because by doing that you can better the community, we can better engage people out there. So check out his other videos and have fun.